Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Josh and today we're going to be having a first look and review of the smartphone lenses and cases from Lemuro. Let's jump straight into it. Originally funded on Kickstarter back in June 2018, production is now complete and these are available to order for anyone using iPhone models other than the XR and XS Max, which will come later, as will an Android range. This is the black leather case for the 10 and 10S models. You can see the Lemuro text on the back and also as a logo on the microfiber lining inside. The cases themselves have a protective TPU bumper with ribbing on it to protect if your phone is dropped, and as you would expect, your phone just pops straight in. On the back you can see the metal lens interface for screwing those lenses into. The lenses themselves all come in these protective microfiber drawstring bags, which is really nice, and each lens of course comes with its own removable lens cap. They're a squishy rubber material that presses on and grip really easily. All of the lenses feel absolutely solid, being made from anodized aluminium. This is the 60mm tele lens in black, which gives you that 2x zoom in over the native lens. I really like the size and weight of it. As you can see on the back, there's a thread there, and that just screws onto the mount on the back of the case. It's definitely not going to fall off. This thing can take some serious abuse or be left fitted if you really need to quickly pocket your phone. Overall, I like the look and feel of the case, but it's time to see how those lenses perform. For the test, I wanted to keep the phone position and subject the same, so I set up my iPhone XS on a small tripod and swapped between the lenses to show you the different effects they all had. So this is the native iPhone XS footage, filmed in 4K and not colour graded at all. It's a pretty dark and stormy day. The first lens I'm going to fit is the 60mm tele that I've just showed you. As you can see, it clearly punches in a lot closer, but there is no vignetting or loss of sharpness, at least to my eye. Now we're back on the native lens, a little bit of extra sunlight just poking through those clouds. Next lens is the 18mm wide. Once again, no vignette and a nice sharp image. Doesn't make a massive difference on an already quite wide native lens on the XS, but keep an eye on that little triangle of rock just above the midpoint on the left hand edge while I unscrew the lens. Now if you're looking for a dramatically wide view, then it's the 8mm fisheye you want. So look at how wide that is. Edge to edge, no vignetting, and having never used a fisheye before, I love how much you can get into frame and how little distortion there is in that horizon. So sticking with that fisheye lens, I moved the tripod and set up a time lapse of the crashing waves, which you can see here. Now if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you're looking to up your smartphone photography game, and you might even be considering a cheaper clip-on lens rather than these more premium lenses. So let's compare the image quality and see what we think. I've jumped down onto this ledge, which isn't quite as sketchy as it looks from this angle, I promise. Here I've got my phone in the Lemuro case with that 18mm wide lens fitted, and this is the image that I got. I then removed the case and took the photo with the native iPhone camera just for reference. And finally you can see me fiddling around trying to align that cheaper clip-on lens as best I could before managing to take this photo. Let's have a closer side-by-side look at all three of them. Here they are as they were shot, no editing or correction, and that clip-on lens is noticeably softer and less punchier than the others. You can also really see the difference that the Lemuro wide angle makes over that native camera. And now we see them edited. I've tried to keep the settings in Lightroom the same for each one, but either way you can see how the clip-on lens really degrades that image quality, whereas the Lemuro lens keeps that original sharpness and just gives you a much more interesting perspective that doesn't look like it was shot on a smartphone. Moving on, let's talk about the lens I haven't shown you yet. Probably my favourite, the 25mm macro. For me, this is one that I recommend everyone tries, because no smartphone on its own can produce these kind of results. Comes with this diffuser shroud so you can get the perfect focus distance every time, or even trap insects to get those up close pictures without them escaping. Here I am moving in on the microfiber lens bag. Just look at the detail this lens is able to produce. There's no denying it, this is a seriously impressive bit of kit. Here's another example going in on my camera, so look at the sea spray on there, and then there's a close-up photo of the same camera. Look at that detail. So let's have another quick look at the cases, this time a black polycarbonate version. Slightly stiffer than the leather backed one from before, so it is a bit harder to get off, and it has that very mirrored finish. Has the same great build quality, Lemuro branding, and that soft microfiber lining as all of the cases in the range. At the moment there are no Android cases available, but I've been told they are in development. Now, I can't talk about a smartphone lens company that started on Kickstarter without at least mentioning Moment. They are after all huge on the platform. In terms of presentation and build quality, they are very similar. Both offer aluminium bodies and provide little microfiber storage bags for each lens. The biggest difference is their mount. Lemuro have chosen a wider threaded mount, whereas Moment, at least for their V1 lenses, went for a much smaller bayonet that I never really liked very much. As you see here, the Moment lens fits very quickly with just a quarter turn, and my experience was that as the cases and lenses get older, that mount became less and less secure and would eventually just fall off. Whereas the Lemuro lenses, as I showed you earlier in the video, require a few extra seconds to screw on. Once they're fitted, they're really not going to go anywhere. I've also found them easier to clean out any dust because of that wider opening in the back. Because I don't have the updated Moment V2 lenses or their 10S case, in the interest in fairness, I'm not going to do an image comparison between these two brands, but I will take a closer look at the design of the lenses I use most often, the macros. Both are 25mm in focal length, but the design choices do differ. The shroud on the Moment macro presses onto the outside edge, which doesn't give you any room to support the lens when you're trying to remove it, whereas the Lemuro macro has that knurled outer grip, which makes it really easy to fit or remove the lens. The shroud itself presses into a dedicated inner channel, which personally I prefer, but I suppose it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. My friend James and I have been testing these in a few different places over the past week. Here we are in the forest, and I have to say we are both really impressed by them. If you're looking to get the best out of your iPhone, or to step up your photography, then these lenses are a great way to do it. Providing you already have the right phone, they are also a lot cheaper than buying a dedicated DSLR or mirrorless camera to take your photos with. Oh, and if you're a ULH Mini user, then yes, they fit the Lemuro lenses. So there you have it, that's my little review and first look at the Lemuro cases and lenses. One thing I want to touch on quickly is the price, because I haven't actually mentioned it yet. They're between $85 and $90 per lens, so though they definitely come at a premium, they're easily on par with the other high-end smartphone lenses like those from Moment. That being said, in my opinion, the design of the Lemuro lens mount is far superior and robust to that from Moment, so for me at least it's an easy choice to make. I want to wrap this one up by saying that it's not a sponsored video, but I did ask Eric from Lemuro to send me these lenses to play with, and we've had a long chat after I played with the product. We've decided that we're going to share a stand together next March at the photography show in Birmingham, and we're going to have the ULH and the Lemuro side by side. Us Kickstarter brands have got to stick together. If you're planning on attending the show, please come say hello. We're on stand A71. If you're interested in finding out anything more about Lemuro now, want to buy anything you've seen in this video, then I've put his website and Kickstarter links below. He's also given me a 10% discount code to share with you. As always, thank you for watching. Comment below if you have any questions, give it a thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in the next one.